Hey, good morning and happy Friday. Thanks for joining us on the KOCO Facebook page as well as the meteorologist Taylor Cox KOCO Facebook page. I'm Taylor. So let's go ahead and get started this morning. We have a lot to talk about, a lot of details before Christmas, and then a big change in the forecast on Christmas Day. So we have got a lot to talk about this morning. Let's go ahead and get started. As always, if you have any questions or comments, you can stick them in the chat. I already see one. Seth asks, am I ready for the holidays? Yeah, I'm very excited for Christmas. We have some fun activities this weekend. I'll be here doing the weather this weekend and through Christmas as well. And then since I work this next weekend, we did my family's Christmas in Tulsa this past Monday. So I'm kind of like, I feel like in between Christmases right now, which is fun because it makes the season last a little bit longer. Okay, let's go ahead and get started this morning. Of course, if you have any questions, do what Seth did. Stick it in the chat, in the comments section this morning. We will get to it. Ooh, the Arvis camera, foggy. It's not broken. Nope, it's just really foggy and misty. And the Arvis camera is kind of like sitting in a cloud this morning. Usually you can see more than that, but usually you can see downtown. But not this morning. We've got a lot of moisture out there right now. Our humidity levels are very, very high. A drizzle out in eastern Oklahoma, mist, light sprinkles here in Oklahoma City. You can zoom down and see how this is at times hit and miss. At times it's just very consistent. You're probably going to want to run your windshield wipers this morning. You're probably going to see some of that fog out there. You're probably going to see wet roadways. And because of that, any car in front of you could kick up some water in front of you, making you run your windshield wipers even more. So it's not like a heavy downpour or anything, but it's definitely going to slow your commute a little bit. On top of that, there's a lot of people on the roadways this morning getting their vacation started early. Even at like 2:30, whenever I was headed into work this morning, I saw people on the roadways, like many more people than I normally see on the roadways at 2:30 in the morning. So I know that a lot of people are out there getting their vacation started. Go ahead, take your time on the roadways. We do have a dense fog advisory that goes until 8 a.m. And actually, while we're talking about it, I want to just make sure that time was not updated. I'm pretty sure it's still 8 a.m. this morning, but we're still seeing some pretty dense fog out there. So I wonder if this will get extended. Let's see, I have it right here. It goes until 8 a.m. So, yep. So I'm wondering if it'll get extended. If not, just go ahead and take your time on the roadways. We still have some dense fog out there. Wind speeds are very variable this morning. Very light wind, about 5 to 10 miles an hour. That's what we'll see this afternoon as well. Those winds really not ramping up too much here, which is good news. That'll keep it a little bit more comfortable this afternoon, not bringing us as much of a wind chill. Current temperatures are in the 50s, but I want to go back to this graphic here. Look at that. We've got some 30s out there near Woodward, 30s out in Guyman as well. So that may impact our high temperatures this afternoon. Guyman, Woodward, you may not get into the 60s like the rest of us, but the rest of us will get into the 60s this afternoon. It's not too much of a warm-up. We start so mild. We start in the 50s that we're only warming up about 5 or 6 degrees here, but still bringing us into the low 60s this afternoon, which is nice for December. I think that you're going to want your hoodie, maybe your jacket. You're not going to need the coat. You're not going to need the gloves or the scarf or the hat for this afternoon. Now, maybe if you stay up tonight after the sun goes down, you're probably going to want some of those layers, but even then, it's pretty mild out there. Temperatures are in the 40s and 50s as you wake up tomorrow morning. But let's get to the predictor because we do have rain coming in tomorrow morning, or tomorrow, mid to late morning. Rain moves out this afternoon. If we can get some of these clouds out here, we'll see that sunshine. It'll be a really nice day. If we can't get the clouds out of here, you may see just a few sprinkles, very, very scattered, very isolated sprinkles throughout the rest of the afternoon. I would not be surprised if a few of these clouds could squeeze out a few sprinkles this afternoon. However, I think we'll be mostly dry, more dry than we are this morning. Rain. Tomorrow morning, once again, widespread fog across the state. Very, very similar to what we saw this morning. Widespread fog. That could also bring some mist. So while you can see the rain out to the west, you can see the bulk of this moisture coming in, still we could get some mist tomorrow morning here in Oklahoma for most of us across the state. I would be surprised if you don't get either fog or some sort of mist, a raindrop or two tomorrow morning. Just expect wet roadways. Once again, you're going to get into the car tomorrow morning, have to clear those windshield wipers off a little bit. Okay, let's take a look at predictor. The bulk of this rain coming into the late morning, early afternoon hours, starting out to the west, moving through central and then into eastern Oklahoma, overnight tomorrow night, and then into Sunday morning, sticking around through central and eastern Oklahoma for early Sunday morning. Look at western Oklahoma. Are we going to get snow? Most of us, no. A few of us out in the panhandle to far northwestern Oklahoma could see some flurries. Is this sticking? Probably not for most of us. The rest of us, just rain. It's just too warm to get that snow. But this will continue as we head into the rest of the day on Sunday, continuing through the afternoon hours, finally clearing out by late in the afternoon on Sunday. Far eastern Oklahoma could have a lingering shower or two on Monday. I wouldn't be surprised if like Tulsa and McAllister had showers hanging around for Monday morning. That's Christmas morning. But the rest of us will be impacted by that really cold air that's coming in on Christmas morning. And we'll talk about that, but I want to talk about your weekend first. I mentioned widespread fog on Saturday morning. Rain chances increasing. Some pretty good rainfall totals from this. We'll talk about that in just a minute. Overnight Saturday night into Sunday morning. Continuing with that rain, temperatures warm up to the 60s both on Saturday and on Sunday with a pretty consistent wind about 10 to 15 miles an hour. Rainfall totals looking pretty impressive, 1 to 2 inches through Sunday. Excuse me, a little hiccup there. Over 2 inches out to the east, but only about 1.5 inches to 1 inch in western Oklahoma. Not as great rainfall totals out to the west. But thankfully we are getting some sort of rain. You know, usually in December our rainfall totals aren't too impressive, so I'm really glad that we're getting some sort of rain here. Temperatures will continue in the 60s through the entire weekend, as I talked about, but we've got about a 20-degree temperature drop on Monday. Yeah, temperatures just plummet to the 40s on Monday. That's Christmas Day. So it's a cold Christmas. All right, we've had cold Christmases. Stay inside, maybe by the fire, run your heater, put on those warm pajamas, you know. Does the family do matching pajamas? I hope they're warm because it's going to be cold on Christmas Day. Not only cold, but also very windy. So we have a north wind about 20 to 25 miles an hour sustained, and then wind gusts up to 30 to 30 miles an hour, 35 miles an hour. I may actually change this from 25 miles an hour to 35 miles an hour, and then this could be 35 plus. Just how it's looking right now, it looks like these wind gusts could be a little bit stronger than I originally thought. Let's take a look at the 5 plus 5 day forecast here. Temperatures are trying to warm up after Christmas into the rest of the week. We get to the low 50s, so that's about average, a little above average for this time of the year. Temperatures cool back down to the 40s, and it does look like early next year, yes, I'm talking about like 2 weeks from now, it looks like we could have some colder air moving in. So it'll finally feel like winter. We've got a few more days with temperatures in the 60s, and for all of you cold weather lovers out there, you're finally going to get it. Look, temperatures finally consistently fall below freezing, which is what we expect this time of the year, Christmas Day and thereon after. There you go. There's your 5 plus 5 day forecast. Do you guys want to know something wild? Sunday, not this Sunday, next Sunday, the last day on our 5 plus 5 day, this Sunday, last day of the year, last day of 2023. This is the last day of 2023. Kind of crazy, right? Is it weird to think about, or are you guys ready for 2024? I'm not quite sure where I'm at yet. Am I ready for 2024? Or I still write 2021 on some of my papers on my forecast sheets. Who knows? Okay, let's see. what our questions are this morning. This is my uncle. Good morning, Uncle Danny. He says, how's the forecast for Santa's trip? I've been working on a travel forecast here, and it does look like some of us are going to see snow out just to the north and west of Oklahoma. So Santa may have to deal with a little bit of snow on Christmas Eve into Christmas Day, but at least for surrounding areas around Oklahoma. But his reindeer can handle it, so I have faith in him. So there's a lot of goodies. Joe says good morning from Broken Arrow. Cherry says good morning and have a blessed Christmas. Let's see. Oh, I saw a great question. Wade Angie Scott asked, how bad will the storms be? So we could definitely see some thunderstorms Saturday and Sunday. Lightning strikes, rumbles of thunder, definitely possible. However, the likelihood for a severe storm, the likelihood for hail is very, very low here. I think that this will be more rainfall than it is severe weather. So that's great. We don't have a risk right now for these storms coming in on Saturday and Sunday. But, you know, lightning, thunder is not out of the question. What we got yesterday into today was just light rain. This will be heavier rain, but no risk with this. Great question there. Crystal says, Merry Christmas. Nancy, I have the same thought as you. Low 60s are better than the low 50s. Yep, me too. I like this mild weather that we've been having. This is right up my alley. Actually, I have plans this afternoon to go ice skating because this afternoon is going to be really nice. And I love ice skating, but I do not like the cold weather. So I've been taking advantage of this mild weather. Getting everything done before it gets cold next week. Next week is like a make some soup and stay inside type of week for me. Let's see, any other questions? Wow, we've got a little bit of spam on here this morning. Just ignore some of the spam that we have. Don't engage. Anyone else? John says, why does the radar look like Oklahoma City is having a thunderstorm? Okay, which, are you talking about the forecast here or the radar? Because we're not seeing any thunderstorms out there this morning. However, at least that I see. However, we are getting some rain. And this rain is a little tricky. So we can go back and forth between our radars right now. I'll just pop back and forth here because some of these radars will tell us different stories. Actually, this radar may be, let's see. Not showing much here. So this rain is a little tricky because it's very, very, if you go outside, you're going to notice this. Very small droplets, very low to the ground, really produced by some high moisture in the air. It's kind of more like mist than it is rain. I'm not seeing any thunderstorms out there, and I'd be very, very surprised if we do have anything in the form of lightning or thunder this morning. However, on Saturday and Sunday, I do expect some lightning, some thunder with some of this coming in. But this morning, we're just seeing kind of this hit and miss rain, and it's very hard for the radar to pick up on this rain, which is why it doesn't look like much right now, but we are seeing, I mean, look at this. I mean, this entire morning, it's been just like sitting in a cloud, and we finally saw some lights. Let's see, there you go. Around 6:30 this morning from our RVest camera, but the moisture got high enough. You know, we're just sitting in a cloud here. We can't see very far on our RVest camera here. We also had, let's see if we can see more on here. Yeah, you can see usually you can see the Devon Tower in the distance, and we can't see any of that on our McIntyre Law camera, but you can see just how blanketed we are with some of that moisture out there, low-hanging clouds. We've got some mist on the roads. You're probably going to be running your windshield wipers this morning, and you can see the reflection on the roadways from some of these lights from the cars. And that's also, I mean, it's just showing that we have wet roads out there, but there's nothing to dry it off. We don't have a strong wind to dry off those roadways. We don't have the sunshine to dry it off. You know, some of the cars will eventually dry off some of these roadways, but the moisture content is so high, there's just going to be water sticking to the roads. So expect wet roadways out there. But in terms of thunderstorm, I do not see that. Alrighty, anything else this morning before we hop off of here? I think I've gotten all of my graphics. Oh, hey, look! What did I tell you guys? The dense fog advisory has been extended until 10 a.m. So I mentioned that at the very beginning, that I think that this will get extended past 8 a.m. And now it's been extended until 10 a.m. There we go. Graphic updated. Look, what did we say? Up to date, the most up-to-date forecast, right? We're giving you the first alert literally as it comes in to our cell phones here. So go ahead. I mean, this is not surprising at all. You guys saw the cameras out there. We've got tons of moisture still on the roadways. We have the overhanging, very low clouds bringing us low visibility at times as well. We've also got some fog out there, and the visibility levels still very low. Here's how you read this map. The lower the number, the lower the visibility. So we're down to, ideal visibility would be 10. That means 10 miles. We're down to 1 mile here in Oklahoma City, not surprising. Less than a mile in Hobart and Lawton. Now, where we get into some trouble at, where you could see road hazards, maybe not seeing too far in front of you, getting into some trouble on the roadways, is whenever we get to right around a mile or less than that. So Hobart, Lawton, seeing some trouble this morning, maybe even just west of Oklahoma City, all the way up to Enid, seeing some very low visibilities, and then up to Woodward as well. So take your time on the roadways. You could see some fog, especially in more of those rural areas, suburban areas where we have more trees, more grass. In the city, it's really hard to see fog. Alrighty. I'm going to hop off of here and get ready for this next cut-in we have in just 4 or 5 minutes. But of course, if you need more news and weather, you can join us at 9 o'clock. We have another hour-long show. It's Kylie and Cameron and I today, and then it'll be Cameron and I tomorrow. So join us on KOCO. We'll be here tracking this weather. I mean, we've got showers and storms through the weekend, a big cool down on Christmas Day. The conditions kind of stabilize after that. We've got some strong winds, very cold conditions through the middle of the work week. But other than that, no wet weather to talk about until next Friday. Temperatures still a little bit above where we'd like them to be to see any snow. So it looks like this is coming in as rain on Friday, and then temperatures staying in the 40s as we head into the weekend, ending out this month, ending out this year, going into 2024. Of course, we'll have a look at the first day of 2024 tomorrow, so you're not going to want to miss that. You're not going to want to miss your New Year's Eve forecast either. Have a phenomenal Friday. I'll see you back here, same time, same place tomorrow morning.